So Shine the Light on Women Abuse campaign is this amazing public awareness campaign that the London Abused Women's Centre became involved in last year. So it's our second campaign this November. And we are asking Londoners to shine the light on women abuse for three reasons. One, because we want to raise awareness about the issue of women abuse. We also want women to know that the abuse they suffer in their homes is not their fault. And in fact, the shame and blame that some women feel belongs to the abuser. And so we want to stand shoulder to shoulder with abused women and let them know they have nothing to feel badly about. And in fact, all women are potential victims of violence and abuse in their homes for no other reason than their gender. And finally, we want to make sure that abused women in this community are aware of services that will provide hope and help to them as they try to find peace in their lives. Well, I think it's growing for two reasons. One, I think, is it makes people feel really good to help others. And last year we had so many people contact us after the month to say that was the most incredible experience we've ever gone through. And you know, just to be able to do such to be able to do as little as wearing purple clothing and know you're sending a message of support to abused women is pretty empowering. So I think that's one reason. And I also think the other reason is that the issue of women abuse is gaining prominence as far as its profile. And the reality is that everybody knows somebody who's being abused. Whether it's your mother or grandmother or sister or daughter or best friend or a colleague at work, we know that 1 in 4 women will be abused by her intimate partner. And we also know that women in this community often don't tell their stories because they feel shame. But those women are our friends or family members. And I think people are starting to realize that. They're starting to come to the conclusion that I can play a role in ending the abuse in the life of somebody I know and love. We take the opposite approach. What we say is that we have to focus on stopping violence and abuse against women, because if we create safer communities for women, we are creating safer communities for everyone. And so fundamentally, we are a feminist organization and believe that women are abused because of their gender. And so we take a number of large systemic actions to try to create equal opportunities for women. But we know that that's a long-term process. And so in the meantime, we know that women will continue to be abused and need help and support. And one of the biggest things I say is don't re-victimize women. Don't blame women for what's going on in their lives. Don't say, if I were a woman being abused, I would leave. Or don't say, I don't know why she stays. We need to transfer the blame for woman abuse onto the shoulders of the abuser and take it away from the woman. She stays because oftentimes she has no other choice. She's been told in her home that if she leaves, she'll be killed or her children will be killed. So her choice is to stay and continue to be abused, or sometimes leave and forever look over her shoulder wondering when and how he's going to kill her. Those aren't choices. And so women are strong and courageous. They never signed up in their marriage to be used and abused. They signed up to be loved and respected. We recognize that women can't solve this problem, that it takes men to solve the problem. And so we work collaboratively with men in this community who volunteer for us, attend our special events. In all of the classes we speak to, there are men and boys in those classes. We've worked with the fraternities in this community. And again, last night, you know, we had the police chief and the city and the mayor out supporting our Shine the Light campaign, who have made a commitment to paint their toenails purple to show that they stand with women in this community, that they are supportive of ending violence and abuse against women. So really it's everything we do involves men, because we know that men are crucial to our efforts in ending violence against women. Well, that is a great question, because we live in a society where women continue to be sexualized and used and abused. And you look at a magazine now, and there's one, a woman or a child, a female child for that matter, in a sexually explicit pose, and everybody thinks, oh, that's okay, they're just selling something. On television programs now, if you watch programs like Criminal Minds or CSI, almost always the victims are women who have been raped or sexually abused in some way. So we do understand that members of this community and beyond have become desensitized to the issue. We try to shift that. We are a leading anti-pornography agency in this country. We are abolitionists with respect to prostitution. We want to stop the demand. We hold stores accountable when we find that they're showing sexist ads or materials. We call magazines on an ongoing basis to try to educate them about the harm their advertising campaigns is doing. So, it's very tough for women, because the whole culture has changed to what we call a pornified culture, where porn and sex sells, and they use women to sell their products. So the London Views Women's Centre has as its fundamental policy that every woman receives immediate access to service. A lot of people don't know that, and we hear about other social service agencies that have 3-month wait lists or longer. Every single woman that either walks in our door or contacts us is seen within 1 week. There is no waiting here. The other thing about our service is that it is long-term counseling, advocacy, and support. So the length of time that women generally stay with us is 1 full year in either individual appointments or at our drop-in program or in one of our groups. And during that whole process, we continue to advocate on their behalf. So if they're having problems with finding a safe, affordable house, we advocate on their behalf for that. If they're having problems with the legal system, whether it be criminal or family law, we're advocates for them. So what we do is listen to women's stories. We never tell them to stay or leave or tell them what to do. We listen to their stories and trust them to be the experts. And once they've received all the information they need to make a choice for themselves, we will provide supports for them to make sure that they can achieve whatever goal is theirs. My one message for Londoners would be to make yourself informed so you can stand in equality and in partnership with women in this community.